hearty welcome to our Docusnap video tutorials. Today we are talking about IT concepts. IT concepts is most relevant for the most of you because it probably sums up what the most of our viewers expect to be as a documentation, meaning it contains manuals, operating procedures, re-enablement plans. Let's take a look at it. In order to automate a lot of things in your IT documentation, Docusnap does an agent-free inventory of all the things in your IT infrastructure. Now, if you are writing manuals or operating procedures or things like that, you have to manually type those in or inventory those. So we already save a lot of time there. Now in IT concepts, we automate even more things around that. So let's take a look. First of all, let's look at the user interface of Docusnap. In the middle, you find the dashboard. On top of it, you find the ribbon bar containing all the necessary inventory wizards that you will need to inventory agent-free and recurringly. Once you've done that, the Data Explorer on your left will be populated automatically by Docusnap with all the relevant data. And on the bottom, you can find inventory. That's where all the things that come in are sorted in. Documentation, that's where all the things that get out are to be found and where we also be looking at the concepts. Then we have license management. We already have a video tutorial there. And we have IT security. That, of course, is our permission analysis. Now, for our IT concept, we do need some general inventory, some general items to really show what we can make here. And let's switch to documentation to consider and plan some output. Now, in documentation, I open up IT concepts where I already created a folder called re-enablement. And looking into that, I have a manual that's called security incident for our purposes here, looking like that. Now, what I also did was a visualization here. That's a security breach where I related some icons from the special tree in diagrams. These are just general icons and aligned them with content from our inventory. That's pretty neat because that way you can relate arbitrary things or incidents or items with relevant items from your documentation. Now, getting into the security incident, I click Edit and Docusnap opens up a new window with a sort of resemblance to, of course, Microsoft Word because we want to stick to your accustomed solutions. Now, you can see already that we have some general items here, some general information like a data view here on the exact date. We have a table that is currently not up to date. And we have one first index. It's called scope. And I'm mentioning here which persons I want to get in touch with in case of an incident. So as you can see, I can type my own prose text here, and now I can just drag and drop the context that I have in organization into the space below that. Once that's done, I can double-click here and deselect the fields or columns that I don't need. And possibly I want to filter on the position. I just want to include admins here. So I'm doing that by entering admin and confirming. Now, the next thing is I have an inventory overview. Here I'm going to use one of our reports from the infrastructure reports management section. Let's use the IT structure key figures. Docusnap generates that report from scratch from the current temporary snapshots. And the next thing is I created a visualization here and I got some space left. So I will be putting my diagram that I created from security breach into this one. Now, by confirming with save, I can close and, for example, set up a job so that this concept is regularly updated and emailed, for example. And what's the big advantage now you're getting? For example, if there is a change in your organization, let's say that Maxel Reiner here is in vacation. I'm just using the position here as a field for that. And that's going to update, of course. Now, the other thing that is, of course, usually more tedious is if you have some things that change in your IT inventory, in your hardware. So you have to, map those out again in Word or possibly Visio. You don't want that, of course. Now we have IT correlations. So for example, here I have a security incident, and once that happens, I have to reset the password of this administrator, and I can then select the groups that I want to have shown here, and it's going to show me all the services that I have to restart and the systems I have to restart them on after I have a reset here. So that's pretty neat, right? I'm clicking Save here, and now I'm looking back into concepts, and you will see that straight away nothing has changed, because usually you're looking into business critical information here. So what we want is to schedule this as a job, to have it, for example, revised by a person that is responsible. And here I can select if I want a versioning of the concept, which kind of format I want it exported to. And next thing is that I can select a distribution via email, for example, to a colleague that is responsible. And of course, schedule the whole thing. Now, in my case, I'm just going to refresh here. Docusnap will gather all the contemporary data from the snapshots and update it here. And if I'm a responsible person, I can see that, for example, here is a missing person, and I have my updated inventory overview here, as well as an updated visualization of all the relevant systems I have to restart. This, of course, was just a small example of all the things you can do with IT concepts in Docusnap. We recommend you check out our manuals, our how-tos on how to create automated documentation here, and be sure to also dive into it on your own by testing it. We have a trial version on our homepage just for that. Of course, don't hesitate to get in touch with us. Now, we hope you find some liking in that, and of course, automate all the things. He who documents has an overview.